everyone. So a while ago when my self-esteem was really low, I deleted any videos that were on my YouTube channel where it was just me talking. I deleted all of them because I didn't like the way I looked. I hated my voice. I found them so cringy. So I will try my best to keep this video up, but if I delete it, I will try not to because it's a topic that is important to me. FND stands for Functional Neurological Disorder. I think I was diagnosed about a year ago, but we knew that it was something that I had long before I was actually diagnosed. This is my fish Bubba, by the way. I don't know if you can see, I have a little sucker fish right here called Tony. So FND is it's a very large spectrum. Everyone with FND is a little bit different.
FND is a problem with the functioning of the nervous system and how the brain and the body sends or receives signals.
I don't even know where to start, there's so much to it. I made a little spider diagram to help me remember, because otherwise I will forget what I'm going to say. FND is a more common disorder than people think, but it's still so mysterious. There's so much that we don't know about it, and there's quite a lot of doctors and nurses and psychiatrists, etc., that have never heard of it. So my therapist had never heard of FND until she met me, and then she kind of educated herself and bought books and things, which was so nice of her. So some of the symptoms of FND, one of them is, I'll start with this one because it's ironic and otherwise I'll forget, is memory loss. This is quite a big symptom for me. My memory is absolute shit, it's just so bad. It's usually my short-term memory that's not very good. Long-term isn't too bad, so I can remember stuff from years ago, but I don't remember yesterday very well. My fish sometimes get fed 3 times a day because I forget if I've already fed them. The part of FND is seizures, but some people, I'm on a FND group on Facebook, a support group, and some people on there don't have seizures, which to me is crazy. I think I just assumed that everyone with FND had seizures, but they don't. They could be different types of seizures, like absent seizures, partial seizures where you're half in, half out. And then there's the big ones, which is what people think of when they hear the word seizure. So kind of thrashing around, convulsing. I've had seizures for 3 or 4 years now. Chronic fatigue is another really big one for me. So I can have a walk down the street and then when I get home I'll feel like I need to nap, to have a sleep just because I walked for 20 minutes. Just get drained so easily. There's brain fog, which is kind of where your brain just feels kind of cloudy, it's hard to focus on something. I have a 500-piece jigsaw down there, which I've been doing for weeks now, because I just find it really difficult to do and put all the pieces together and connect where they should be. Another part of FND, which is usually what most people with FND have, is some kind of dissociation, because people with FND usually have dissociative seizures. Damn it. I was diagnosed with derealization and depersonalization disorder long before I was diagnosed with FND. That in itself is a separate disorder, so my FND could be really good, but my derealization could be terrible. Speech problems is another one. So some people might have slurred speech, some people might struggle to form words. I have a stammer because of my FND. Some people have referred to FND as having symptoms that are similar to someone who's had a stroke, because I've seen on the FND Facebook group, I've seen people post pictures where half of their face is paralyzed, so the one side of their mouth will be drooping down and the eye will look funny. Which obviously can be really scary because people around them will think that they're having a stroke. I haven't had any issues with anything to do with my face. I mean, apart from facial tics, Oh, that's another one, tics. I've had tics since I was about 14, because my first tic was like a hiccup. I had these hiccups like 20-30 times a day when they first started, but they didn't feel like a normal hiccup, because usually a hiccup you feel it in your chest, but I didn't feel that. It just felt like I was making a noise that I couldn't control. Yeah, and we actually went to the doctors about it, saying I've had these hiccups for like 2 years, is there anything that we can do? But they didn't really say anything. And then when I started having seizures in 2016, I think, when I was in the hospital after one, we mentioned them and they said that it was a tic, which then it made a lot more sense. The first one was the hiccups, and then the second one was my elbow and my head going like this, and then from there I just got more and more. I've had some very vocal ones. So I used to... Aww. So I used to make this weird noise. There was this one that my mum liked because it was really cute, and I don't remember what it was. It was like, what was it? It was like, ooh, or something like that. I can't remember. Yeah, and I had this one where I used to go like, wow, which was really embarrassing, but you know, it is what it is. Still have quite a few now, but there's most of the ones that I have like sometimes when I'm sitting down I'll just go like this, like my head does weird stuff, I blink sometimes like that, or my eyebrows will go up. Oh, or like that, yeah, my shoulders will jump. There's loads of different ones. There's loads of different ones. Like, I feel like I'm talking really fast. I'm kind of... Oh, sorry. I think it's because I get nervous doing videos on my own. Like, I really, really don't like it. I just feel so, like, Oh, I forgot I had these down here. So, another symptom is... Have I already talked about this? I can't remember. But I'll talk about it again, and then when I'm editing the video, if I've already talked about it, I'll just cut this bit out. So another symptom is paralysis and body pains. So I've had paralysis in my body on like must be over that, like 5 or 6 different occasions. So I've had like both of my legs go and then just one leg. One of my left arm just was completely paralyzed one time. Because I remember I went to college and I didn't have a sling on or anything, so it was literally just like hanging there. it was just hanging there all the time. And I remember I was just sitting at the desk doing some work with my friend Chloe, and I just looked down. I noticed that my hand was like purple, like really, really purple. So I kind of I told the teacher, I was like, I think there's something wrong. And that's when they put a sling on, and I was like, thank God, because like I hated it just hanging there. I felt like such an idiot. I've also had this other weird like episode that lasted a while where my hand turned in like this, and I couldn't move them, and that was when my parents got me these braces to try and support my wrists, because it was so painful. So I have 2 different types. So there's this one, it doesn't, like I was still stuck like this, but it's good for, so if I have days where my wrists are really painful, I'll put this one on, just because it is supportive, but when I was stuck like this, it didn't really do anything. But it is good for like just pain. Because I wasn't doing anything, my dad got me these. These are amazing. And basically, they have a splint going right down the middle, so this bit is like rock solid. I can't bend it, because the splint going down here keeps your hand completely straight. So when my hands were like paralyzed like that, these were like an absolute godsend. Thank you. Yeah, so that's my hand braces. We've had to get a lot of stuff to help me and my FND and things like over the time. So I've got braces that my dad bought me. So these ones are actually really expensive. They came in a pair, obviously I have the other one. We also I have a wheelchair and a walker frame, you know, the ones that like old ladies have. I have one of those. I have crutches as well. So just different things for depending on the severity of the paralysis or like the pain that I'm in. My pains mostly are usually in my legs. But there's been a few occasions where they've been in my arms and my hands as well, but not that often. When I get pains in my legs, I can't describe it. It's like, it goes all the way down, but usually it stops at my ankle, so I don't really get pains in my feet very often. It'll just be from my ankle going upwards. It's awful, like it's so bad. Sometimes it keeps me awake at night. And I have to go and wake up one of my parents for some paracetamol or something. The same with my head pains, they can be really severe as well. And they can be in different places, so sometimes it's like a normal headache where it's just all over like that, and then sometimes I get it like in where my eyebrows are, and then sometimes like it's right behind my eyes. Like I remember the other day I was panicking. So I also have health anxiety, and which is probably come from all of these different diagnoses that I have. And when I was having this horrendous pain like right behind my eyeball, I was saying, oh my god, I've got a tumour behind my eye. Which obviously I know isn't true, it's just my FND. The cause of FND isn't really known. Like, there's a lot of question marks around that. Some people think it's trauma. Some people have FND and they've had no trauma, like they've had no big significant like trauma that has happened to them, and they still have FND. And then there's like 8-year-olds and 12-year-olds that get it. It's such a young age to have something like FND. It's quite uncommon for children that young to have it. Like even in the FND group on Facebook, I'm one of the younger ones, and I'm 19 now, so like a lot of it is adults. You know, there's also thoughts that it could be from different damage over the years, if that makes sense. So I've broken this elbow one time, and I dislocated it another time. I've had, you know, lots of injuries at gymnastics. I bang my head constantly, like it's no wonder I have seizures.
Oh.
Always banging my head, or just banging myself off something. By the way, if you've like got this far into the video, thank you for watching, because I was a bit worried that like that felt like a really ugly tic. Did I look horrible? I was a bit worried about making this so that people wouldn't find it interesting or whatever, and like fair enough, some people won't, but I just think, you know, like in times like this it might be good to learn something new. Or like, how cool would it be if like a nurse or a doctor watched this and they were like, oh, I didn't even know about that, and like now they know. Like my friends and that, they don't really understand it that well, which is also fair enough because it's a very confusing disorder. But hopefully this video will help anyone that knows me to maybe understand it a little bit more, because it means a lot to me when people like try and, you know, like understand what I have. Actually, there was something really exciting that happened a couple weeks ago, and there was an episode of a series called Hospital on, oh, what channel was it on? It was ITV, but don't quote me on that. Yeah, there's a series called Hospital, and for episode 6, I think it was an episode all about FND, which was like really exciting because you never ever see anything about FND on TV because it's just so unknown, and like doctors don't really understand it. So, you know, it was quite a big thing for us to have something about FND on TV. So if you want to understand it a bit more, there might be stuff that I've missed out that, you know, you can go and watch that episode because it is really interesting. The symptom that I've got on my little list is hypersensitivity. So I'm very sensitive to light and sound. So when I go outside, it doesn't really matter if it's sunny or not, like I need to wear my sunglasses. I usually struggles at like parties or like whatever because of it being too loud, even when for other people it's not too loud, which is really annoying. It makes me seem like a bit of a snowflake, but I think I've pretty much covered everything. I probably haven't because, like I said, FND is just so huge. I do find it difficult to sit and talk and, you know, like gather my thoughts up and stuff, so you know, hopefully I didn't do too bad at explaining it. I hope everyone's having a really good day. I know these are really difficult times, but we've all just got to support each other. Like it will pass. It might take a while, but it will pass and everything will be normal and we can see our friends again. But thank you for watching if you've watched it this far. I really do appreciate it. So stay safe, look after yourself, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye!